Hi everyone, welcome to PYF Presha Yoga Fit, and I am Presha. This is a Hatha Yoga practice, and it's an everyday Hatha Yoga practice that stabilizes and mobilizes the body, and you can come back to this practice every day. The intention is to move in ways and to take up shapes in the body and hold those shapes for a little longer duration, so we are mindful of our breath and we are mindful of the shape that we are taking, and at the same time, as I mentioned before, the aim is to stabilize and mobilize the body. So roll out your mat and let's get started. For this practice, we're going to begin lying down and we're going to start with opening into the hip area. So lie down on your back and bend into your knees. And start with placing your right ankle over your left thigh. Once you do that, you're going to flex your foot, so that means your toe is going to point up. And with your right hand, gently push your right knee away from the body. From here, we're going to lift that left foot up off the mat, and we're going to thread the needle. That means we're going to take that right arm through the window of your legs. Now you can catch your left under of your left thigh with both your hands interlaced, or even you can catch and put your fingers interlaced on your left shin. Just make sure you're keeping your right knee away from the chest, and you're keeping this pull with both your hands. Couple of breaths to as I mentioned before, to open into the hip area. And we usually do this pose as an option or as a modification for also a pigeon pose, which is usually on the mat, so we're not lying down. And this has the same advantage of taking a pigeon pose. So both are, it is also called a reclined pigeon pose. Again, the goal is to open into the hip joints. Wonderful. Now we're going to release the bind in the hands. From here, we're going to extend both the legs. So right leg's going to extend up, left leg's going to extend down. Okay. Once we've done this, now both your hands can be placed behind your right leg, so catching your calf muscle, and you're going to start to pull the leg towards your face, and you're going to keep that left leg extended down on the mat. Flex the left foot, so heel's digging down and your toe is pointing up. Keep pressing the left thigh and the left leg down, and at the same time your right hand's pulling that right leg. There's also an option to catch your big toe with your peace fingers, so the first two fingers and the thumb. So you're going to hook it and you're going to pull that right leg towards your face, and to stabilize the left leg down, you're going to place your left hand and press your left leg down. Now actually lift your head up, slightly squeeze with your anterior body, so with this part of the body. And this also gives you a little bit of assistance in order to hold on to the leg. Good, and try and extend the leg. So first we'd keep the slight bend in the knee. See if you can extend the leg. In case that's too much of a stretch, you can always come back to bending into your knee. Good, and then bring the head down and re-bend into both the knees and frame the feet down. We're going to switch sides with that reclined pigeon pose on the other side. So left ankle on the right thigh. From here, you're going to, with your left hand, push the knee away from the body. And with the hands, we're going to take the left arm through. We're going to lift the right foot up. You're going to either interlace your hands under your right thigh or over your right shin, and keep pulling this shape, this figure 4 shape, again with the intention to open into the hip areas, the joints and the muscles that are usually tight since the lifestyle these days is sedentary, so we end up sitting for long hours and thus the hips tend to become tight. Wonderful. And now we're going to extend, release the bind in the hands, extend the right leg forward, extend the left leg up. You can slide your hands and hold on to your calf muscle. Keep your right leg extended and flex the right foot. Now to aid this stretch, we're going to aid the stretch in the hamstring. We're going to lift the head up, do a little bit of a crunch. You can keep holding this way. This is absolutely fine. However, we can also, the other option is hook the peace fingers to the big toe, keep the right hand and down onto the right thigh and press the thigh down. And the option here is also to keep the left knee slightly bent or find a little extension in that left leg. Now you're stretching the backs of your left thigh. Beautiful, and we're going to release this. Now we're going to again frame the feet down onto the mat, and we're going to briefly lift up in a bridge pose, and we're going to come in a twist. So with your feet stacked under your knees, we're going to now lift up. So put your heels, dig your heels down into the mat and lift your hips up. Now from here, just go a little off center. So just shift your hips a little to the left and then bring them down. Okay? Now you're going to drop both the knees to the right side and keep your right hand and press your crease through, just place your hand on the crease of your left thigh and press your thigh down and extend your left arm to the left and actually reach it a little up. So we're coming in a supine twist here. Also a great way to start to warm up and wake up the spine. Great, and we are going to come back to center. We'll go back in that bridge pose. So back with your feet stacked under your knees. Then you're going to lift up again in that bridge pose, okay? From here, we're going to go off center and shift the hips slightly to the right. Bring the hips down on the mat. Drop the knees to the left. Place the left hand on the crease of your right thigh and extend the right arm out to the right, but reach it a little up. Okay? Good. You can turn your head facing the right, or you can keep looking up and then start to feel this nice stretch and this nice twist in your back body. Breathing into every shape and being aware of this rhythm of the breath. Great, now let's come back to center. All right, now we're going to just simply roll on to one side and we're going to bring ourselves into a child's pose, okay? So, For this child's pose, we're going to take the knees a little wide, bring and sit with the hips on the heels as we bring the toes together, and extend your arms forward. Good, and bring your forehead down as we are sinking with the chest and the heart space. And the belly starts to become soft between the thighs, the space that has been created between the thighs. Taking one more big breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Great, we're going to lift the head up, and now we're going to simply step the right foot between the hands. Take an Anjaneyasana or a lunge pose. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. And you can curl your left toe back so you support your left knee. From here, we're going to take the left arm across the body, right arm under. Find a bind in your elbows, eagle arms, and then bind in your hands. Making sure your elbows are in line with your chest, with your shoulders. And then let's take an inhale, lift the chest up. Opening through the heart, taking a little back bend. And an exhale, bring yourself back to center, release the binds, frame the hands down. Now we're going to lift the left knee up, okay? Keeping your right knee bent, we're going to start to spin the left foot down on the mat. And from here, we're going to start to extend the right leg as well as we pull the chest forward and we come into a pyramid pose. Starting to feel the stretch in the right hamstring, the muscles at the backs of the right thigh. And keep maintaining that quality of engagement in the left leg as well. So keep that left leg, the muscles of the left leg going back, okay? Great, and now we're going to re-bend into the right knee. We're going to bring the left knee down, step back with your right knee, step the left foot forward, keeping your right toe curled. We're going to reach, inhale, both the arms up to a low lunge on this side. Wonderful. Now with an exhale, take your right arm up and your left elbow arm under. Find a bind in your elbows and your hands and eagle arms. Align the shoulders and your elbows. And with the breath in, we're going to lift the chest up. And with the breath out, we're going to come back to center. Frame the hands down, fingers down. Staying in the same pose, we're just going to lift the right knee up off the mat, spin the right heel down, and then start to extend that left leg, pulling the chest forward. Starting to feel this opening into the backs of the left thigh, the left leg. Beautiful. Let's rebend into the knee. This time we're going to step the right foot forward. We're going to come into a forward fold, bend into both the knees here. Good. And hands will come on the shins. Inhale to lengthen, flat back. Exhale to fold. And in slow motion, as if I had pressed a slow-mo button, you're going to, in slow motion, roll the spine up. Great. And we're going to do 3 cycles of sun salutation. So let's begin from the top of the mat. Feet stacked under your hips. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale to forward fold, dive down. Inhale to lengthen flat back. Exhale to step back to a plank pose, pressing the floor away. Inhale in plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees and slowly lower down with the rest of the body. Then hands align with your chest. Inhale, lift up to a cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Make sure you're pulling your chest forward and your shoulders are away from the ears. You're squeezing your glutes. And exhale, come on your knees and then go to downward facing dog. And then retain downward facing dog for a few breaths. Trying to constantly reach your heels down onto the mat. Also pressing into the mat with your hands as if your hands was trying to push the mat forward, and the feet and the toes were trying to pull the mat back. Good, then look forward, lift your heels, bend your knees, gaze forward, exhale, walk or step forward. Hands on the shins, inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale to reach your arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center and arms to the sides. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale to reach your arms up. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to plank. Then inhale in plank. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to downward dog. Stay in downward dog for at least 5 cycles of breath. Big breaths in and out. Then lift your heels, bend the knees. Exhale, step or walk forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center and release. 1 more time. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step back, plank. Hold it, press the floor away. Inhale in plank pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to cobra, so a back bend. And exhale to downward facing dog. Again, holding for a couple of breaths here. Let's lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk, step forward. Hands on shins. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center and arms to the sides. Okay, now we're going to take a step out. So wide stance with the feet. And we're going to practice warrior 1 and warrior 2. Okay? So in order to practice warrior 1, we're going to turn the right toe pointing to the front of the mat. Turn the left toe slightly in, okay? Then we're going to start to bend into the right knee and hold your waist first and turn with your chest and your hips and your shoulders facing forward. Really start to bend into the knee, aligning the knee with the ankle. Keep the left leg engaged, so keep that nice quality of engagement in both your legs. Lift the chest up, lengthen your spine, then inhale, reach your arms up to warrior one. Beautiful, and then we're bringing those hands back on the waist, straighten the right knee, come back to that wide stance. Switching sides, so from turning the right toe, we're going to turn the left toe pointing to the back, and from here, turn your back foot in a 45-degree angle, so slightly in, bend into your left knee, turning your shoulders and hips facing forward first, making sure your left knee ankle are in one line. Keep the quality of engagement in your right leg as well. Inhale, then chest lifts, lengthen the spine, reach your arms up. Beautiful. Hands back to the waist, come back to center. Okay, warrior two now. So turning your right toe pointing to the front again, keeping the left foot as is. We're going to keep the chest, shoulders now facing this way itself. We're going to bend into the right knee first, okay? The hands are still holding on to the waist. Now lift your chest up, elongate your spine. Slightly lift up from the front right hip, engage your left glute. Again, keep your left leg extended and engage. Reach both your arms out. And the gaze is going beyond your right hand. Just old school warrior one and warrior two ways of practicing it, understanding it. Beautiful. We're going to bring the hands back on the waist, turn the right toe facing to the front, then turn the left toe facing to the back. Right foot stays the same, so it's parallel to the back of the mat. Keeping the chest and the shoulders facing this way, bend into your left knee, extend your arms out. Good. Slight hip lift from the left front hip, keeping your right glute engaged. Look beyond your left hand. Keeping the left knee and ankle in one line. Beautiful, and then hands back on the waist. Turn your left toe facing forward, and we're going to simply step in. Good job. Okay, now we're going to come down, slowing it down with the practice. So come sitting down on the mat, and we are to the end of this practice, almost to the end of the practice. So I invite you here to either lie down on your back and take a shavasana, or you can join me in a seated meditative pose. And we're going to bring the hands to the heart center. We're going to close the eyes. We're going to bring our focus to our breathing. Simply observing the organic cycle of our breathing. How do we start to feel every time we inhale this body, this chest and the belly area, the sides of the body, the entire upper body starts to expand with every breath in. And every breath out softens the body, relaxes the body. So realizing this is just a great way to stay present with your breath. And on that note, staying present, staying mindful, I thank you all for being a part of this practice, and I will see you in the next video soon. Please take care. Bye.